Imagine a world where airplanes could only fly in perfect weather, where pilots had to rely solely on their instincts and the horizon to stay level. Now picture a young man, not yet 30, who dared to defy the limits of human control and invented a device that would change aviation forever. This is the story of Lawrence Sperry, the brilliant engineer who gave birth to the Autopilot system, a creation that not only made flight safer but paved the way for the modern aviation industry. In this video, we'll dive into his journey of innovation, from his early experiments to the first public demonstration that left the world in awe. Lawrence Sperry was born in 1892 in Chicago, into a family already steeped in invention. His father, Elmer Sperry, was a famous inventor known for the gyrocompass and other electrical devices. From a young age, Lawrence showed a remarkable talent for mechanics and a fascination with flight. He built his own gliders as a teenager and soloed in an airplane before he could drive a car. By 1912, at just 20 years old, he obtained his pilot's license and began working on a problem that had vexed aviators since the Wright brothers: how to keep an aircraft stable without constant manual input. His father's work on gyroscopes gave him the key. Lawrence realized that a gyroscope, a spinning wheel that maintains its orientation, could be used to sense an airplane's attitude and automatically correct its flight path. He teamed up with his father and engineer Elmer A. Sperry Jr. to develop a practical system. The Sperry Autopilot, as it came to be known, was a marvel of mechanical engineering. At its heart was a vertical gyroscope that detected roll, and a directional gyroscope for yaw. These gyroscopes were connected to pneumatic servo mechanisms that moved the control surfaces of the aircraft, the ailerons and rudder. The pilot could set a desired heading, and the system would keep the plane on course, correcting for turbulence and wind. But there was a catch: the initial design could only control the lateral axis, not the pitch. Lawrence and his team worked tirelessly to add a third axis, incorporating a gyroscope to sense pitch and controlling the elevator. By 1914, they had a working prototype that could maintain straight and level flight. To test it, Lawrence fitted the system to a Curtiss C-2 flying boat, a fragile craft that demanded precision. The stage was set for one of the most daring demonstrations in aviation history. In June 1914, at the Concours de la Sécurité en Aéroplane in Paris, Lawrence Sperry prepared to unveil his invention to the world. But he wasn't just going to show that the autopilot could keep a plane level, he wanted to prove that it could fly the aircraft entirely without human hands. Sitting in the cockpit of his Curtiss flying boat, Lawrence started the engine and taxied onto the Seine River. As the plane climbed to a safe altitude, he engaged the autopilot. Then, to the shock of the spectators below, he stood up in his seat, raised his hands above his head, and even walked out onto the wing. The plane flew on, steady as if piloted by an invisible hand. The crowd gasped, and the judges awarded him the grand prize. But the real victory was the proof that an automatic system could be trusted with human life. This moment marked the birth of the autopilot, and Lawrence became an instant celebrity. After the Paris triumph, Lawrence Sperry continued to refine his invention. He added mechanisms for automatic turns and altitude control, making the system more versatile. During World War I, the U.S. military saw the potential. Autopilots could help bombers fly straight to their targets, freeing pilots to focus on navigation and defense. Sperry's company produced hundreds of units for the war effort, and the autopilot proved its worth in harsh conditions. After the war, commercial aviation began to expand, and the autopilot became a standard feature on long-range aircraft. By the 1920s, systems like the Sperry automatic pilot were being installed on airliners, enabling flights over oceans and through fog that would have been impossible before. Lawrence's invention didn't just make flying safer, it made it viable as a mode of mass transportation. Lawrence Sperry's life was cut short at the height of his career. In 1923, while flying across the English Channel in a small plane, his aircraft crashed into the sea under mysterious circumstances. His body was never found. He was only 30 years old. Yet his impact on aviation was immeasurable. The autopilot he pioneered evolved into the sophisticated flight control systems that fly our modern airliners, from the Boeing 777 to the Airbus A380. Today, autopilots are so advanced that they can land planes automatically in zero visibility. But every pilot who engages the autopilot owes a debt to Lawrence Sperry, the young inventor who risked his life to prove that machines could be trusted with the controls. Thanks for watching. If you found this story of innovation inspiring, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos about the people who shaped our world.